In the college information ecosystem, the quality of information we rely on is crucial. So understanding that there are different ways of classifying or thinking about it is an important skill in getting around in the ecosystem. A helpful way to think about information is in terms of its audience. Who was the information created for? Not all information is created for all readers, and so recognizing who an information source was written for becomes pretty important. This video introduces a simple way to identify 3 types of audiences, though we will concentrate primarily on 2 of them. Let us start with 3 types of audiences. There are popular audiences, trade or professional audiences, and scholarly audiences. It can get much more complicated than this, but let's just start simply. Popular information sources were written for general readers. In the US, that means they're usually written at about the 7th grade reading level, the average reading level of Americans. They're often written to give general information or to contribute to some degree of self-education, to help with everyday decisions, or simply for entertainment. For example, this is an image from a site called londoncyclist.com, which gives reviews of products, tricks and tips, and news for people who cycle in London. It is written from a very practical, everyday perspective to help people with decisions or to just stay informed about cycling. This is a popular information source. Trade and professional information sources are written for more specific audiences in work information ecosystems. We won't spend much time on these sources right now. Scholarly information sources are written for very specific audiences that break up along academic disciplines like psychology, mechanical engineering, elementary education, social work, etc. Readers include other professors or experts and students, although students are a secondary audience. They present new evidence for scholarly arguments, which we'll touch on in another video, or new ways to look at old evidence, and often they'll make arguments for adjustments in practice, policy, or general philosophy associated with areas of study. They have very specific conventions, which we'll also touch on in another video, and they are not terribly concerned with entertainment value or ease of reading. They use expert-level vocabulary that can be difficult to read and is very precise. Even professors and other experts sometimes struggle with scholarly level information. So if you find yourself struggling, again, you're in good company. Here's the cover of a scholarly journal, an important one for the fields of French history, literature, and sociology. The primary audience for this journal would include French scholars, historians, area experts in the State Department or CIA, and students. Articles in this journal would presuppose very specific knowledge and use very specific vocabulary and be more challenging to read than something on a website about European tourism. Most professors expect us to rely primarily on scholarly information, though important exceptions can be made. As we gain experience in our fields, we'll learn about when we can use different types of information sources. This attention on scholarly sources is not to say that other information sources are not important. They are. We just need experience to learn how and when to use them in our scholarly work.